All right, so this is going to be open game night. Uh, for this one, I am playing the original Diablo. For anybody that's played any of the other games in the Diablo series, Diablo 1 is kind of unique in that it's kind of bare bones. I mean, it's a product of its time. The graphics and stuff are all a little bit, or not graphics. That's not really the word I'm looking for.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen. Griswold, a man of great action and great courage. I bet he never told you about the time he went into the labyrinth to save Wirt, did he? He knows his fair share of the dangers to be found there. But then again, so do you. He is a skilled craftsman, and if he claims to be able to help you in any way, you can count on his honesty and his skill.
So it's really unique in that the quests are broken up into like groups. So like in group 1, you can either get the poisoned water supply or the skeleton king. So I know that I have the poisoned water supply because this thing here is yellow. Basically the water should be blue. So like I know that I'm going to get the poison water supply as the quest that's playable. And in these, there's only a handful of quests that like you 100% have to do to beat the game, and I think that's Group 6 quests, which are like the Chamber Bone, Archbishop, Lazarus, and Diablo. Those are like the actual ones you have to do to beat the game. But the actual structure is broken up into more that there's 16 levels, broken into 4 sets of like the same sort of labyrinth thing. So you start in the cathedral. The first 4 levels are like the cathedral, then you get to, I think it's like the crypt, then you get to the caves, and then you get into hell itself. And enemies progressively get harder, all of that jazz. With the DLC, which is what I'm playing, the Hellfire expansion, it adds, I think, 8 additional levels that are like its own thing with additional quests. But we'll kind of just get started. The monk, the class that I'm playing here, is one of the DLC classes. So it's only available, or the only DLC class, I should say. There was a couple other that were going to be made. Like you can see, there's code for it if you were to like scrub through stuff. But yeah, anyways, we'll go ahead and get you started here. So to start out this one, you kind of leave from the town and you're going to go over to the cathedral. So I'm sure if you talk to people in town, you would like find out that something's going wrong and they want you to come over. And we'll get, so you got all the blood here. So it should be the butcher quest for the group 2 one. So like there's all these little things that'll tell you which quest you got.
The sanctity of this place has been fouled.
What's also unique, so like if you've played any of the other ones, or like if you're playing Diablo 4 right now, which is really fun. One of the things that I think is unique is in some of the later Diablos, it's like actually beneficial to like take on larger groups. Like you take out a whole horde or everything like that. Whereas in this one, like it's kind of important that you get to stick to single target. Because if you get swarmed, you just get straight fucked. And one of the other things that's unique is like this right here, your chance to hit is one of the most important stats in the game, because like if you don't have a high enough value here, you're not consistently hitting the enemy and like obviously not doing any damage, and that is tied to your dex score. So as you increase dex, it increases your chance to hit. So that's like, especially early game, like you kind of want to like put a lot of points into dexterity, unless you're like playing at maybe the wizard. I played my first run through on just like the regular game on the warrior, so I completed the base game with warrior, which it definitely got a little spicy there towards the end. Because some of those enemies, like, you would literally have to engage them, get them to, like, follow you so you could attack them one-on-one, and then kill them. Like, it was a little bit of a pain in the ass. So comparatively, it feels a little bit slower. It's not a super long game because, like I said, there's technically only like 16 levels, or I mean, I guess you could equate it to a dungeon. And then after that, there's not a whole lot else. One of the other things that was added in the Hellfire expansion, I haven't played with them too much because, like I said, I only started my monk run through and only made it 2 or 3 levels down, is the blacksmith oil, which so weapons can break, which I think is a thing in the other games as well. I know it's a thing in Diablo 4. It just isn't as common. The blacksmith oil can repair them as well before you had to go back into town, or each class has their own like unique spell. So like in the monk's case, he's got the search skill, which I think identifies certain things. I can't remember, but the warrior had the repair skill. The downside to that was it increased how much, like if we look at this item, its durability is 25. Every time you use the repair skill, it increased the durability. So like then it would become more and more expensive to repair it with the guy in town, which he repairs without increasing anything on it. So which was handy. So like story-wise, once again, kind of product of its time. There's not a whole lot here. Basically, there's a hole in the church where demons started coming out, and then you show up and go to like put an end to the demons coming out of this hole in the ground. What's funny enough, so anybody that's played Diablo 4, at least the opening, it's kind of like a callback at the start of that game with that just a hole in the cathedral and people coming out of it. So this is one of the tactics that like you can kind of do. So only one enemy can be in the doorway at a time. So like if you find somewhere like this where you can get it where only one can come at you at one at a time, you kind of maximize on that. Like I said, it took me a little bit to get some of these techniques down and stuff so that I wasn't struggling too hard. So each floor has at least one staircase down to the next floor. There's some extra ones on certain floors where, like, depending on what quest is there, like you might have some extra exits as well. One of the other thing that's kind of unique too is like if you get hit, it can like stun lock you. So sometimes finding a good spot to like, unfortunately, kind of like cheese the fight is important so that you like don't get stun locked and those types of things. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have the Butcher's quest based off of the blood outside the cathedral. And he's definitely one, his attack speed and stuff is super high. So it's kind of important to find a spot where you can kind of cheese the fight with him. because otherwise you just get stun locked to death because he's got high enough chance to hit that pretty much every single time he's just going to hit you and stun you in there. Okay. Oh, yeah, the other thing that is unique to the Hellfire expansion is these traps. Those didn't exist in the base game. So, get some nifty stuff already. So that's the door we came in from. See, I think that's already our floor down to the next level. But I usually try and clear everything. Because on single player, it doesn't respawn enemies unless you, like, restart the game. Or, like, restart. I can't remember exactly. There's a way to, like, you, like, reset with the same character. I thought something else dropped. Maybe not. Yeah, so I usually try to 100% a floor before I actually go use the stairs to the next one down, because there's not a whole lot of other experience. So you don't really get experience from completing any quests, which is interesting too. So killing enemies is basically the only way to get experience. The quests are more or less just for special items or unique items. But I did think it was interesting that, like, you're not going to see every quest every time you play, because it's broken into groups. So depending on which ones spawn, like, you'll get 1 or 2 quests, and that's about it. Or you might have a couple overlaps because there's some mandatory quests. Most of them at the end of the game. The rest of them are kind of like randomly selected each playthrough. So whenever I ran my warrior run through, I had the skeleton key, which gets you to go fight Leoric, the skeleton-like lord dude, which the item you get from there is pretty awesome. It's his helm or whatever, and it gives you lifesteal. Like I said, I'm going to do a lot of getting that dexterity up to start, so I have that. Usually try to get to like 70-ish before I switch up going to other skills. That way I have a pretty decent chance to hit consistently. And then I'll probably switch it up to different stuff. Like I said, I don't know if it's as important if you're playing like the sorcerer or anything like that. I haven't done that one yet, so I can't speak to it. Warrior, it was one of those. Strength was important, but it was also way more important to have the high dex score so that you could hit consistently. But the monk has, I think, stat-wise, I think he has pretty high base. If you're playing with the original classes, warrior has highest strength in the game, starting out, and then it's the rogue has pretty balanced stats, if I recall correctly, and then the sorcerer is pretty high on the what's it, magic stat. I think it was, yeah, the rogue is pretty high on dexterity, as it's like its buffed score, and then sorcerer's got high magic, which makes sense. I think for playing solo, a lot of people talk about the warrior is one of the easier ones to clear with originally, because you could just kind of face tank a lot of the damage. And I don't remember all the shrines, to be honest. I have to look up a lot of them as I'm playing, just because I don't remember all of them. It's the first few, they're okay. It's not till you get to some of the lower levels, like, ooh, that was a trap. You want to make sure you look up to make before you like activate a shrine, because some of the shrines later on can be negative. And some of them, I think, even like have, if I remember reading correctly, like they'll permanently screw up stats and stuff on your character. So like you either have to re-roll a character or like reset the save. Okay. So books, if you can read them, permanently increase the spells that are associated. So like reading this will permanently boost when you use Holy Bolt. The scrolls will let you use those particular abilities, like you had that spell saved or whatever. Cool. Inventory management on this is also a little bit, I would say, unique, but I know some of the other games like Path of Exile, I think, use the same type of inventory management where you have to fit the items into the inventory space. So certain items are going to take up more space than others. All right, I'm pretty sure that is all of floor 1. We move on down to floor 2. So if we actually have the butcher, there will be a room with the butcher in it, and then there should be an access to the poison well stuff as well, based off of what I'm tracking for what quests I ended up getting. There's our down to level 2, and we'll just go. Help a little bit, give you some armor. Oh, the money also takes up inventory space, which I thought was weird the first time playing. I think when I played a Path of Exile, that also was a thing. Which weird. I mean, it just is another thing you guys kind of think about when you're picking up stuff. There we go. So we might switch up and start going towards some strength, or maybe magic, so we can read some of those extra books there. We wanted to equip that, give me a little extra armor. Yeah, I think that's it for now. them. It's annoying sometimes whenever they do this, where it's like you start doing consistent damage to him, and then they start running away.
Where would I put this?
Scimitar. Damn it, I picked up the one I wanted to. Oh, see, my durability, that helmet's about to break already. 3 to 7. Yeah, we went with that one. That will work. This in here. So I don't use the mana too often. I think that's way more important on the sorcerer, wizard, or whatever it is in this game than it is here, because the only time you're using mana is if you're casting his individual spell. Or any of these spells. I don't remember. I feel like this when you're using the scrolls, it doesn't consume the mana, but I could definitely be wrong too. I'm talking about this like I know what the fuck I'm doing, but I kind of just muddle my way through it most of the time. Okay. Why don't we go through this door here? See what we got. What I really wish I had that I haven't picked up yet is the scroll of town portal. There's some shortcuts that you'll pick up after a while, but you don't start out with any way to get back to town overly quickly to start.
I cannot carry anymore.
Oh, but it is special, so we got the identify, so it's a unique, which we'll need to talk to Kane in town to find out what makes it unique.
would I put this?
Might go sell stuff here in a sec. Yeah, why don't we go do some selling first, and then we'll get back to it. See if there's any gold that I messed up here. Ooh, that one looks like a unique. Okay. Well, not unique, uncommon, I think is probably the right word. Luckily for us, floor 1 has the entrance and the exit to floor 1 right next to each other. Yeah. The monk has immeasurable movement speed inside town, which is nice. Okay.
I cannot cast that here.
Well, what can I do for you?
So one of the short bows, the daggers. Oh hell, I left that other one down there. Ah, it's all good. So that's...
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
2 times damage to monster, 1 times to Club Apparel. That sounds terrible. That's saying it's inflicting damage to... I feel like that's saying it's going to damage me to use the weapon. Lame. But it is unique. One of the other perks of playing single player is you can just drop shit that you don't need in here that you might want, depending on like later on.
I'm glad I caught up to you in time. Our wells have become brackish and stagnant, and some of the townspeople have become ill drinking from them. Our reserves of fresh water are quickly running dry. I believe that there is a passage that leads to the springs that serve our town. Please find what has caused this calamity, or we all will surely perish.
So that's confirmed that it is the poisoned water supply quest. Because now I think it actually shows it, yeah. The butcher, I want to say, normally there's a dead dude laying outside in the blood. I don't know if it changes because I'm playing on the Hellfire expansion or if it's just not there. I don't know. But we'll keep trudging along. Why don't we go this way real quick? Oh, man. Oh, there's a shield. Nice. Since I'm doing a one-handed weapon, I should be able to throw that on. Give me a slight boost to armor. Look at that. Look at me. Big old dude walking around, doing the things. Grab that short bow. Was this the one that was... Oh, the unique was back there, wasn't it? We're going to go that way eventually. I'm just doing my old clean out the whole floor real quick. I'm almost mapped this area, I think. Ooh, a cloak. That sounds dope. Carvers real quick. Come on, bitch. Oh, I think that was a unique. Unique enemy, like because it was named or whatever. Staff of Charge Bolt. So the staffs like that are really cool because like it basically allows you to use that particular magic, which is why I can't use the X. I don't have the high enough magic. So it's only 2 to 4 damage, but you can also shoot Charge Bolt when you got it. Nothing but stick with the scimitar. 3 to 8. And it's got some special properties. We want to switch over to that. Okay. Couple of those are getting weak. Have to head back into town here soon to repair them. I was gonna say early on, it feels like a pretty recurring thing of like having to go repair.
Where would I put this?
Another robe. Alright, so we mapped. all of that area, so we just got that middle section straight up left. I do need to come back and pick up that rope though, so we're gonna go sell some more stuff. Identify a couple more weapons. See if they're worth keeping. And then we'll keep trudging along. It is pretty funny, like, looking back at like how quick you can make progress, at least for the early part here, because clearing the floors isn't bad, killing enemies doesn't take too long. It's not till, you know, obviously, I'd say it's probably like, sometimes I've had to like skip the actual butcher quest, and even, I think I had to do it with the poison water supply too, for a little bit, because...
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Raven's Staff Charge Bolt. Oh, plus 17 on mana. Nice, nice, nice. I can't use it yet, though, so we'll probably drop that one here in town. Blade of Might. That's a good one. It's going to add plus 7 to my strength, which will allow me to wear some extra armor. So we'll throw this one here for now. Don't care. Don't care. We'll keep the bow. I'll actually drop this off here for now, too, because I can't use it. That'll work. And we'll sell.
Well, what can I do for you?
And repair that. And I think we're okay on that one for now. Those are both over half, so I think we're good for a little bit. This is neat too, so like it'll show your base and then modifiers for like equipment, or if I like here if I've taken damage or anything like that. All right. I think I had a pretty one of the staffs that I find really useful, especially like later on in the dungeons, is there's a kind of like that staff of charge bolt that I have. There's one that's got the town portal, and it has like 6 or 7 charges on it before you have to go replenish it with the witch lady that I don't even remember when. I know there's a certain point where you can actually go to her, because that's where if you're going to sell like mana pots and like other magic items, you have to go sell to her, because the blacksmith is only going to take regular weapons. They can be enchanted weapons, but they have to be like regular melee weapons. But any of the magical staffs and like that stuff, you have to go sell to her. You can replenish the charges on the staves with her as well. So like you could run a couple times back and forth to town before you had to go like replenish with her, which was nice. Let's see if this rope is a little bit better. Just slightly. I love too that like only certain of the items will actually show on the characters. So like, despite having this sweet robe, he's gonna run around bare-chested anyways. I wonder if Monk is one that could add into Diablo 4, so I'd be interested. I haven't played it on Diablo Immortal yet either, but I know the Monk is one of the classes there. So I might use this instead of this one here, whenever I finally figure out what the hell it does. But we'll see. Okay. So there's down to 4-3. Ooh, level up. That will let us use that staff if we want, and also read that other book. That should get us there.
Where would I put this?
That's a great question. Constantly out of inventory space, man. Sometimes I wish you could like turn them too, because like if you could turn a couple of these, like then you could pick up. Durability is a little garbage, but slightly better than I got. I didn't look to see how that scimitar was. A lot of gold in that room right there, huh? Oh, that's the poisoned area. I don't want to go in quite yet. I want to finish clearing this out, and then we'll go do the poisoned well. There's some harder hitting enemies in there, so I want to make sure I got decent leveling stuff done in here. Like this room seems super sketchy because like it's just gold laying all over the floor. One other thing that's weird about using this technique is you pile up the dead bodies in the doorway, so like you can't close the door.
Where would I put this?
Ah, damn it, see? I'm gonna have to go sell shit again. Well, because I think there's an axe up here, a small axe. Let's see what those do. But that is the entrance to the Poison Well side quest right there. I say side quest. Like I said, Diablo 1's is a little interesting because like you're not required to do that. You'll get a unique item if you do it. And it, obviously some experience from being in that area with all the carvers. But there's not a whole lot. Like it's not going to hang you up if you don't go do that one. I think it's literally just the last 3 quests are the only ones that you actually have to do to progress the story. Run. Talk to Kane real quick.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
10 to vitality, that's, okay. Not too shabby. So we'll sell the other one. In this cap. Do some repairs.
Well, what can I do for you?
Bow of Zest. It's zesty to have that extra life stuff going on.
Well, what can I do for you?
I'm still comfy with those, I think. Dead only.
I cannot cast that here.
Okay. Cool.
I cannot cast that here. I cannot cast that here.
Oh, I want to get off of the cast. That's not what I want.
I cannot cast that here.
Oh, I just want to. Oh, because you know I'm just being an idiot using the wrong. So right click is to cast, and I'm just doing dumb shit. All right, feeling pretty beefy. I am terrified of when I find the butcher's room, because I know it's going to be down here at some point. I didn't think it was fun, so in Diablo 4, if you have, I would say spoilers, but I think it's he's a pretty common, known, reoccurring boss. The butcher can show up in any dungeon you're running. It's just like a one-off sort of enemy. And it's kind of terrifying, because like you'll just turn like a corner and then it'll be like, fresh meat for the slaughter, and then start running it and you're like, oh, fuck me. I guess I'll just die now. Yeah, 3-7, 3d8. Plus it's giving me the extra strength. 2 to 10. See, that's tough. 3 to 7. This might depend on what its modifier is once we identify it. Do I want to run? We'll circle back for the poison well after I've cleared the rest of the floor. Oh, apparently there was an enemy there. The skull cap. Oh, it's not a good skull cap though. Comparatively. Well, that was not intentional. I didn't know that was going to explode. Or that one, to be fair. There's a town portal one. Nice. That'll speed up when I need to go sell shit around here relatively shortly. Cool.
I cannot carry any
Hunter's
more.
bow. I feel like that's slightly better than the bow that I currently have. Although that vitality kick sounds pretty sweet. Damn it. My inventory keeps getting stocked up. I think part of it too is like I'm not taking a whole lot of damage yet, so I'm not like burning through pots, or like my scrolls are healing yet. Resist lightning, adds 2 points damage.
What can I do for you?
So we'll just toss that one in town, but we're going to sell that one. Sell that. Sell that. A little expensive, but important. We're going to drop that one anyways. Yeah, I think that's good. Cool.
I cannot cast that here.
Yeah, you keep telling me. Okay. There's something else I could pick up. Was it in here? There it is, the Hunter's Bow. 2 to 5, so slightly better. Just doesn't have the vitality kick, but I don't know if the vitality kick's enough if the damage is noticeably lower. I mean, it's not too huge of a difference. So we only got a little bit left of 4-2 to peruse through. Wheel of Acme. I don't know if I've heard of that one. Increases a weapon's chance to hit. That sounds pretty good. Ooh, a shrine. Power of Steel. Ooh. I'd have to look it up. I feel like with context clues, that means weapon durability might not drop for at least maybe the rest of this floor. Scroll of Inferno.
I cannot carry anymore. Maybe I don't have the butcher in this one. Since there's no dead body, that might mean I don't have the butcher's quest, which because that was the end of the floor. So that would mean I have Ogden's Sign and Garbod the Weak, which are both level 3 quests.
but I'm gonna go sell some shit, and then we'll go tackle the poisoned well area. I think. It is interesting going back and playing this one, especially since I've played a couple of the other ones in the series now. I am a little bit weird, so the first one I ever played was Immortal, the mobile game one. Which, if you go into it with the right mentality, I've had a blast playing. I have yet to pay a single cent, but I haven't done a lot of the in-game stuff, which I know a lot of folks with the ARPGs, that's what they're kind of into, is the in-game shenanigans, which... Yeah,
Hello,
maybe
my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Not at the moment, though. See, that's the thing. I think we're gonna keep the hunter's bow in the inventory. Drop 4 to 12. Ooh. We'll come back to that at some point. Oh, that's the downside too. Is I'm gonna lose. This is a two-handed weapon. I'm gonna keep one out here just in case I wanna keep running it. Put the shield back on. I think that's what we'll do.
Well, what can I do for you?
Tossing these because that is his skill, so there's not really a reason to hold on to all these damn scrolls of searches if he can cast it without needing scrolls. Fire trap. Alright. Inventory cleaned up because I can sell all of these once I get access to the witch, and well, I guess while we're here might as well head over to, what is it, Pepin.
What ails you, my friend?
That's where you go to buy health pots. You'll also refill your health bubble if you go chat with him. As you can tell, I'm sure other people use these inventory slots for other things. I just fill them all up with pots. So this is oh, I missed an area apparently. So playing single player, once you kill enemies on a floor, they don't respawn, which is kind of nice because when you like run back down, you know you're not like surprise ganked by some people that weren't fucking there originally. The downside is there are no additional enemies, so if you feel like you're underleveled, there are no enemies to go kill to get more XP, unless you like reset your game with the same character. Which I know there's a way to do it. I haven't really looked into it because I contemplated it towards the end of my warrior run because like I was just straight getting fucked the last few levels of hell. Because like I said, I had to gotta play like a little bitch where you like aggro one enemy, run off into like a corner, kill them, then aggro the next one. Like you kind of just go in this loop of like I can only aggro 1 or 2 at a time, otherwise I'm just going to get straight up murdered. Oh, that was all the way back on floor 1. I missed an area in floor 1. Cool. I got lost. I forgot that I'm actually on floor 2, and that's where I was wanting to go back to. But I guess I lucked out. There was a handful of enemies left that I hadn't circled back and killed on this floor. Cool. There we go. There's our hole in the wall over here. It's a little like water cave. There's access to floor 3 right there. So every 4 levels, there'll be a shortcut. So you can access straight to that area from town, which helps out a little bit with having to backtrack to get better items and stuff. Some of these are like clipping into like the dark areas. I can't see the damn enemies or the money to pick it up. This area is not too bad, so you get to like the I think there's some wildebeest or beastmen. Although when I was running this last time, I think I hadn't put as many points into my dexterity to get my accuracy up, so like I was struggling because I couldn't hit them. Not because they're overly tough enemies, just accuracy is a very important skill early on. Because right now I'm not having too many issues. The question is what I run. I might just slight more on Dex and then switch up after that. Kill this archer. There we go.
that's it for that part. Cleaning up some inventory space because I actually had to use some healing. Okay, I'm gonna take a break after cleaning up this little sub-dungeon area here. Yep, and that completed the quest. So like that little horn noise was literally all there was to kind of like indicate that you completed it. Like there's, I think this one there's not even like a special item. It was just the XP from clearing out the dungeon. Like that's all you're gonna get as a reward. Like it's a little disappointing. I guess now you can see that the water is blue instead of the yellow that it was. So cool, cool, cool. All right, I am gonna save. And then we'll be back in a bit. I'm gonna go check on my kiddo and stuff like that. All right, so let's get back at it. I got probably about 20 or so more minutes, and then we'll call it after that. Which I think we might actually be into through floor 3 at that point. So. If I recall correctly, maybe aside from picking up some additional weapons and stuff, that should be the end of this area. That was there. Did all of the top area. Pretty sure we got all the area over here. I'll do a quick QC and then we'll head down to floor 3 after that. Poison water supply done. Yeah. Don't see anything else up here. Cool, cool, cool. Onwards. Quilted armor, that's oh. Armor plus 8. It's not got all the other bonuses. Okay. Oh, the books actually teach you the spells permanently. And I've got Church Golden too. Nice, 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 nice. See, the more you know. So the scrolls you can cast, assuming you have a high enough magic modifier without having to spend mana. And if you know the spell from the books, you can cast it using mana.
Yeah, I think it's usually by like the end of the second floor, third floor, you start to feel pretty strong. And then it's like, as soon as you get to the next dungeon set, so like, I think it's the catacombs next. Then you feel weak for a little bit until you get towards the end of the catacombs. That's good. So there's XS244. I use a unique, but the boss, the monk boss, Horus. Oh, there's another unique right there. Light him up. Bongo. Got him. Scroll of Firewall. Go.
I cannot carry anymore.
Man. Whack. We'll clear it a little bit more before we go sell shit, because I don't feel like going back just yet. First Shadow Beast. Well, that's my first Shadow Beast. I do like that the game tells you how many you've killed of each enemy type. Oh, see? Patience has paid off. Boom. Town portal. Don't think there was anything I needed to identify this time. It's just selling.
Well, what can I do for you? Well, what can I do for you?
Good there. Might do that one. Yeah. wee bit better than the one I got. Another firewall. Okay. There's a trap. Ooh, hello. Oh, hell. See, that's what I was just talking about with the, sometimes you just straight screw you if you get too many on you at once. The amount of times I died during my first run through because, like, it went against everything that I'm used to playing, where, like, you literally go hide until you can, like, one-on-one. And it's just, none of the classes are, like, really built the same way as they are in 2, where, like, each class feels really different. All of them kind of feel like this, at least for a little bit. There's not a whole lot of AoE abilities to begin with. Get it down to like maybe 1 or 2 left, or maybe a little bit more than that. Then I'll feel comfortable to step back out, fight them out in the open, because it's just trying to mitigate how many are on top of you at once. Get it down to just 2, maybe 3. I mean, it kind of depends on enemy type as well. So obviously, if their attack speed's pretty high, you're just going to get swarmed and kind of stun locked because of it. Need to get it identified. I thought I picked up a ring, maybe I didn't. See what it does here in a little while.
I have no room.
Maybe this way.
have no room.
It's an ace I couldn't pick up. Dark ones now. I remember using that to save. So the save is really nice because, like, or I guess depending on how you look at it, can be really nice because wherever you save, that's exactly where you respawn whenever you come back to the game. Like, same exact conditions. I did run into a hiccup. I remember, like I said, I almost gave up on my warrior because, like, one of the times I saved so that I didn't die, basically I had to immediately run for my life, otherwise I was going to die. Because it was like, it was either fighting Diablo or one of the, like, groups of enemies you have to kill to get Diablo to spawn.
I
And,
have
like,
no room.
I had to, like, immediately start running and then spam a bunch of health pots in order to, like, get out of the situation. It took me like 7 or 8 times, I think, of respawning to finally get the conditions I needed to be able to, like, heal up and then actually re-engage the fight. One of these rooms with just exploding barrels. Okay. Almost to level 3 done too. Just cruising along.
I cannot carry anymore.
Sell stuff again. Feel wiser.
be it. Floor 3, but I'll need to go back and sell some stuff. Let's see, did I pick up the town portal and not realize it? Okay. So that was all of that area. I guess Garbard and Ogden's sign are probably both floor 3 or floor 4 things. Since we haven't encountered them yet. Okay. Yeah, I gotta go back up and around though. It's the only pain in the butt since I don't have the town portal yet. I could go down to 4 and try and find the shortcut back to town, but that could also be at the very end of 4, which means I'd have to circle back and pick up weapons and stuff from 3 or 2 floors instead of just the one. Well, that'll actually probably be a pretty good stopping place if I'm honest, because I think we're closing in on the end of my game night window. Certain paces can be pretty chill. I mean, I guess the most exciting combat you saw was whenever I got swarmed and had to run away like a little bitch. It's about how Diablo 1 goes. It's a significantly slower pace than the other ones, where you're kind of like trying to maximize not getting killed. And I guess that's in all of them. Trying to maximize single target opportunities.
Well, what can I do for you?
So, all right. So you're gonna sell that one, that, and the cloak. We're gonna identify both of those. Probably drop.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Ooh, plus 16 mana, indestructible. That's good. I think all the rings are indestructible, if I'm honest. Hit steals mana. Plus 40% damage, plus 2 to all attributes. That sounds pretty dope, too. I don't really use the bow too much, though, unless I'm having a very rough time. Spell scrolls. Gotta move, I put too much stuff in one spot. That done. Do we need to repair anything?
Well, what can I do for you?
Get there, get there. All right, I think that is where we're gonna leave it off on this session. Thank you for joining me for Open Game Night. This has been Rando Gamer. See you guys next time. Peace.